Welcome to Classic Game Room. Back in the day, Nintendo had Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, but Sega had James "Buster" Douglas Knockout Boxing. Here's a case where Sega didn't do what Nintendo does. It's time to kick some bad guys in the face. It's boxing. James "Buster" Douglas Knockout Boxing, to be exact, for the Sega Genesis. And you know, boxing games can either be really good or really bad. There's like no in between. So, guess which one this is. This is from Taito, and it's like they had some other crappy game and then put James "Buster" Douglas's face on it. Who I guess gained some notoriety after knocking out Mike Tyson at some point in history. I don't know. I know nothing about boxing except the Rocky series of movies, which I believe to be true. Except for the Cold War political BS at the end of Rocky IV, because Drago would have clearly won that. They re-edited it to make Stallone the hero. Nonsense! You see, this is boring. That dude is on the mat, knocked out. James "Buster" Douglas should grab an axe and chop his head off. But no, there's no cool finishing moves or fireballs. You just punch each other until someone eventually falls down and you move on to the next round of boring fighting. This is a terrible game. Like, who is this guy? That doesn't even look like Buster Douglas. It's like some random dude they found on the street and shot with a freeze ray. I'm just gonna lie here and take a nap. This is when Fernando Gomez should get the chainsaw. Finish the fight right. Terrible, and I'm reviewing back-to-back-to-back boxing games. This one, Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing, and of course, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Buster Douglas gets the worst of the bunch. Obviously, you know which one is the best, but if you have a Sega Genesis and you're looking for a good boxing game, you go Evander Holyfield, not Buster Douglas. This is a pretty straightforward game. You just punch and punch. And I can't figure out which button kicks, though. I mean, we've all seen the Van Damme movie. There's obviously kicking in boxing. It's called kickboxing. Or is that a different sport? Dynamite Joe just sucks. He's like a poor man's Dolph Lundgren. He doesn't even put up a fight. Who's playing this game? Player 1? You're terrible. So, what else can I say? I try to run these at least 5 minutes, but Kickboxer. That had the chick from Highlander in it, right? That was a good movie. No, here we go. Kim Nang. This dude is unstoppable. He's like a North Korean killing machine. I think he's a robot. In fact, I'm hoping he's a robot. Otherwise, this game is incredibly boring. I'm not sure what happens if you win. I think James "Buster" Douglas spends all of his earnings on diamonds and then eats them. I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'll let Kim Nang kick James "Buster" Douglas's ass once more for this game being so terrible. A big Classic Game Room thank you and shout out to Ben from Buffalo, New York once again. Thanks, Ben. Thanks. You snuck this game in amongst all of the good ones you sent to the show. It's like a Trojan horse of disappointment. This is kind of like if the guys from Altered Beast were in Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I've got 30 seconds to kill here. Let's start taking some bets. Gambling. That's the only thing boxing is good for. Unlimited credits on Kim Nang. He's totally gonna knock out Buster Douglas. Yes, unlimited credits. Now I can finally buy the fire sword and smash this horrible game to bits.